Snowflakes. Welcome everybody to Notary Stars Unlimited. Today is September 21st, 2022. This is a once monthly free event hosted by Notary Stars and Unlimited Ink Notary. My name is Beth Hahoot. I've been a notary for about 20 years and I'm currently the lead instructor for Notary Stars. I am joined by my counterpart, Ronnie Nickel, who is the original founder and co-owner of Notary Stars and Unlimited Ink Notary, a nationwide signing agency. I'm really excited to have everybody here today. Thanks for tuning in. And if you can, please turn on your videos so we can see your faces. It's a whole lot easier to deliver good information when we can see real people and not just a static participant tile on the screen. Awesome, thank you guys. We have a lot to talk about today, so bear with me. Today's episode is titled End of Year Preparation. This makes our 9th installment of this series. And if you missed any previous sessions, feel free to visit us or visit the replays, on www.notarystars.com/unlimited. If you missed last month's session, we encourage you to watch it as we talked about a lot of updates that are available to the Notary Stars listing on our website that you may want to take advantage of. Or you can catch up on those by subscribing to our YouTube channel, where any of our free events are posted. And if you are subscribed, you'll be immediately notified of any new releases. We've given our YouTube channel a major overhaul so you can find a lot of your favorite videos a lot easier. And those are there to help you with your notary career and your business. So please note, if you are listening to the episode live and are driving in your car, please remain off camera and in listen-only mode. While you're listening, please watch the road, not the screen. We love you and we want you to be safe. The sessions for this series were planned to fit where you should be at this point in the year with your notary business. And tonight's session is important because we're going to be talking about end of year or year end. It's a term every business owner knows when it comes to accounting and tax preparation. If you're new, you'll soon realize it's a little more chaotic than just end of month. Before we get started, we do have a few announcements to make, but please stick around till the end of the session as we have a special guest with us tonight. You probably all know Miss Laura Biewer from Coach Me Laura. She's here to let you know about something special she's got coming up that all of you may be very interested in attending. Mark your calendars for the following events too. Let me check my notes here. We're trading our upcoming general mentorship on Thursday, September 29th, to host a special guest. Amy Seitz from Cyberize It will be with us. She's going to be presenting her most recent updates for her platform, and she's also going to give us some quality education about biometrics. So if you're still choosing a wrong platform or want more understanding about biometrics, this is a session you should plan on attending. That's the 29th of this month. Next month, the first week of October, October 2nd through 7th, all live training classes, including Notary Head to Heart, are canceled so that we can bring you our last installment of the year for Notary boot camps. Ronnie wants everybody to know that we're kicking off this boot camp with our first annual Notary Stakeholders meeting. So if you weren't aware, when you're a member of Notary Stars, you're a stakeholder and your opinions and thoughts help shape the direction we take in the next year at Notary Stars. Boot camp sessions this year, guys, or this October, the last one, our topics are going to include finding and forming a notary network, breaking down the SBW Code of Conduct. That's a really huge code. There's my dog.
Uncle Willie is excited about that.
Yeah, everybody's going, hoo-hoo, Code of Conduct. Yeah, trust me, you don't want to miss this one, okay? We're also talking about the struggle we have with overcoming Ron, and we've got Notary Assist that will be presenting accounting for notaries, okay? If you've not trained with us, we do have a special for the entire month of September. You can join at the Notary Star level for 50% off your first month using the code, all caps, Labor Day 2022, so 2022. Okay, that's Labor Day 2022 for 50% off of your first month of training at Notary Stars. On October 17th, Notary Act will present to Notary Stars as well. So if you're interested in learning more about electronic journals, you don't want to miss that episode. You just need to register for it in the live calendar of events. And of course, our next Notary Stars Unlimited will be on October 19th. There we will do our best to reiterate all we've learned during the boot camps and how best to handle your accounting for year end. Okay, that was a mouthful, guys, but you know, we've always got a lot to talk about here at Notary Stars. So, Mr. Ronnie, if you're ready, let's talk about getting prepared for the end of the year. And what can you tell us that can make a difference in our notary business and careers?
Okay, so I want to thank everybody for taking their time tonight to tune in. We have learned over the last 3 years to kind of scale things down and to crunch it down into a time where it's about an hour. And Miss Beth saw the preamble for tonight and she was like, whoo, that's a lot. So she was kind of teasing me there at the end when she was like, that's a mouthful. But we want to make sure that you don't miss anything, okay? We know that you guys are out there working hard. And I want to say, first of all, before we get into tonight's topic, I'm very proud of all of you that are dedicated to your notary career and your notary business, because you have a career with your business. And it's very important that you can kind of stay connected and that you understand what's going on. And it's kind of easy to get lost in being a notary or a loan signing agent and forgetting the fact that you own a business. And that's why we plan these topics out for the entire year. And that makes me so proud for all of you that are here live or watching the replay for this, or even stumble upon us later and then watch it as it unfolds as you come into your notary business. Tonight's topic, as you guys know, we've talked a lot about the disrupt because of higher interest rates. COVID was amazing for us, right? I mean, I hate to say it, I lost some very dear friends, and I hate to say it that way, but as an industry, it was amazing for us. Like, we were beating them off with a stick. It didn't matter if you came in, you were brand new. You were saying, I don't have a room for another. And they were like, can I give you $50 more? And you go out and you do it. But now we're at the reality of what it was like before COVID. And I'm a firm believer that we're no less busy than we were right before COVID. Actually, Unlimited Inc. is still at higher numbers. We are still growing. We are still getting, direct clients. We grow by about a client a week. I don't think that things have slowed down. I think it's just the reality of it's not as busy as it was. And I kind of want to throw that away now. If you haven't been to our blogs on Notary Stars, number one, if you're a Ron notary, Bill has been churning them out and putting them out there. And it doesn't matter if you're a part of us or not. They're on the website for you to watch. And that's what we want Notary Stars to be, as an informational highway so that you can find the information that you want. And we don't send out an email every time we write a blog. And I'm going to say this tactfully, I don't like to recycle blogs either. We started doing a throwback Thursday to kind of remind you that the information is there. But I don't want to be one of those email chains that emails all the time. I email when we have an event like 3 or 4 times. You guys know that from if you're here tonight. Or watching the replay because you were notified 3 times today. But I don't like to notify people every time that there's a blog out there. I want to remind you to go to the blog sessions or the blog section and look at the Ron blogs and the business blogs that we're putting out for you. We're not going to send an email with a list of blogs. We want you to come to it and find it when it's time for you to watch it. But now in this month of September, I want to throw away all we've been talking about the fear of it slowing down, or should I get a day job and all of that stuff, because no, you shouldn't. If you're here, especially if you're here tonight, or you're watching the replay, or you're watching it in the future, you are seeking a way to stay in this business. And that's where we are right now. We understand that there was a big boom. There were notaries that came in. I wrote blogs all about that. Look at all the things that this is beyond dead listings and those who've left the industry. We are now back to being normal in this industry. And tonight I want to talk about end of year preparation, which is really important for all of the notaries. And why do we start in September? Because October starts the last quarter of the year, right? We have October, November, December, and it starts. So we start preparing in September. And one of the things that I want to tell you is that it is crucial right now for all of you. If you watch the replay tomorrow up until October 1st or October 15th, it's really crucial for you to get into your profiles, BankServe, Amrock, if you're going to update your fees because they've done some strange things. If you're going to do it on Snapdocs or signing order, everything that you've done, you've spent 2 years out in the field. A lot of you have done so many orders, but in the last 2 years have not updated your profiles to reflect that, right? You haven't gone to Snapdocs or your direct clients or all of these things and calculated, how much did I actually do? Where am I at now in the industry? How many training courses did I take? What are the names of those training courses? What did I learn from them? What kinds of files can I do? You have 2 years of experience, and if you've only been in it 6 months, you probably have been clawing your way to to where you are right now. This is the time in September to really shine, because end of year, if you don't understand, every month people try to close at the end of the month because they paid the least amount of interest. But the reason that it gets a little chaotic toward the last 3 months of the year is because people are trying to close out financial transactions or get things off their hands so that they don't take it into the next fiscal year. So somebody at the end of the year might sell a house for less than they were asking for just because they don't want to take it into 2023 with them. They're trying to rid themselves. So it becomes a little bit more chaotic as we get closer. People in November or October are going to do it a little bit. You know, they might be the nervous sellers. Then we're going to have the, you know, nervous buyers and all of those things. So it's going to get a little bit more chaotic, but we're going to see transactions that are just trying to get out of the fiscal year. So it is crucial at this moment for you to get into your profiles. And we are at 9/21. So you've got what, 9 days, 10 days to get into your profiles and go through them, get them updated, show your training, show who you are, show how many orders you've done, and let those people who are making the decisions behind the scenes see where you are now in your notary business. Because there are people who are abandoning their listings, and you're going to shine and rise to the top of those who are not answering calls anymore. So it's really crucial at this moment, and it will be next year too, because there's going to be a whole nother year of experience that you've done around this time, and end of year is where you can make new relationships or rekindle old relationships that didn't go so well. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. I want to talk about this for a minute as well. You've got a little time, and I'm going to see if I can get this link up for you. And if I can't, I will, it looks like I don't have the link ready for you. On our YouTube channel, and I put it out in the blog. So if you actually go to our blog, and for this blog, which is titled End of Year for Loan Signing Agents, there is a video, and I'll link it down below to this video on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching, just go to the subscription, to the description, and you'll see it. We did a video, I guess last year, and it's called it's called What Your Job. Let's see. Understanding your job before your job becomes your job. Okay, that is a really great video. And so I think what a lot of times we forget is we are one cog in a lot of wheels that make this clock turn round every day. And when you understand what a lender goes, well, let's just take it from the buyer standpoint, just forget refis for a minute. When you understand what a realtor goes through to get their signers, their customers ready for a loan that then becomes a purchase, and then what title has to go through with that lender just to get you the documents, just to get you to the table. When you understand the bigger picture, you are now able to understand your clients. And I get it. There are 1,000 people out on the internet right now telling you that this job is so easy. And I'm trying really hard to not be preachy or be that guy that says, you know, don't listen to this or that. I want you to listen to everything. But when you understand, sorry, I keep touching my desk. Thank you. I saw that, Miss Beth. My knee keeps hitting the desk. So when you understand what a lender goes through, what a realtor goes through, what the signers go through, all of those components. I mean, a lot of you don't understand, just to get a loan, it could be up to 9 months. You can create a human life and bring it into this world in 9 months. And that is sometimes the process of a loan. And I want you guys to go to the YouTube channel and watch that video and be prepared for the end of the year. Go into it with the mindset of being a part of the cog in the wheel and being part of a title company's team, a lender's team, a realtor's team, being a part of the entire team, and forget that you are your team. You have your team, and yes, you can run your business however you want to, but you need to understand how you fit into the industry as a whole. And I promise you that video, Travis is kind of tough love like me. Like, he says, you know, this is how it is. And he worked in lending. And sometimes at Unlimited Ink, I'm like, Travis, am I working you too hard? And he's like, no, I could be. He was also former military. He says, I could be in a foxhole in Afghanistan right now, or I could be a lender with 150 loans in my pipeline at the moment. So this is easy. I want you guys to get comfortable understanding who your clients are and how you fit into it, and why it's so important for you to understand customer service. Now, if you guys are Notary Stars, in addition to that video, I did a whole training session at the end of last year called Customer Service Champions. And it's a part of your journey, and I hope that you'll watch it, because at end of year, I guarantee you those components will come into play for you. Okay? You want to make sure that you understand the bigger picture. Now, I want to talk about the exact title of this is what you do, how you perform at end of year affects your beginning of the year. And this is so true. Okay? How you perform at the end of the year when it's busy and chaotic is going to reflect who uses you at the beginning of the year, which is always slower. It starts out really slow January, February, and it's usually mid-February to March. So if you don't want business from January 1st until February, October to December is when you really need to shine. You know, March, April, May, you might make a mistake. You can come back from that. But the last quarter of the year, when they're trying to close these transactions, is when you really need to mind your P's and Q's. You have to have the customer service, understand the bigger picture. What you do at the end of the year is going to reflect how the beginning of your year starts off. And what this industry is about, to this day, I have people who call me at least a few times a month saying, I did a closing with you in Phoenix, you know, and sometimes I've lived in Tucson. I did a closing with you several years ago and I'd like to use again. And I get to say, well, now I'm a pretty large company. I can send one of the notaries that I've trained just like me, and they usually follow through with it. That's how that works, is what you do today affects what you do tomorrow. You know, to put it in the basic terms, today affects tomorrow. Now, I want you to know on that particular note, okay, that if you've made mistakes in the past 2 years, and I'm sure every single one here has, including myself, I've been very candid that I made a mistake on a deed of trust in the last year. And I teach people nationwide, and I still make a mistake. But I'm still employed by the same people, and everybody knows I only work for Amrock right at the moment because I can do RONs for them, and running 2 companies is hard. But I made a mistake for them. I did 1 paper signing in 2 years, and I made a mistake. It's okay if you make a mistake. But if you haven't heard from a company in a while, Now's your time. You've got between not now and October 1st, maybe October 15th, to reach out to those that you haven't heard from in a while. If you have a direct client or an escrow officer, things are slower. So you can also say, hey, I hope things are okay. People are also moving around in the industry, so they may have let one escrow officer go and it's just a branch manager running things at the moment. But this is the time where you can also reach out and say, hey, I think we got to start it off on the wrong foot. I've taken more training. I went to Notary Stars. I got 150 hours of training. I know what my mistake was last time. It'll never happen again. I'm going to ensure that. And I have to tell you, I've mended a few relationships that way over the years, where I said, hey, when I started out with you, it wasn't that great. And what I did was I went out and found this training, or I learned what I did wrong, or I found my way. And I will tell you, let's just say that the one person out there says, I don't care. Well, that's not your client, and we don't want them anyway. But if they go, okay, you know what, I'm gonna give them another chance. And I love to use this example. There's a few key components, key players of who really made Unlimited Ink successful for me, and that was escrow officers. One of them, and I've used this in training many times. I wish I could say her name, but I don't want to have people bombarding her. She's one of our big clients. She brought me on 80 offices. And the first 3 times that I worked with her, I messed them up because I was so nervous, because I knew she was a big office and she had a lot of business for me, a Fidelity office. And I went to her and I said, I know you're never going to want to use me again, and I'm so sorry, but I fixed it. And she was the one who said, that's exactly why I'm going to use you, because I don't have to tell you to fix it. And we kept doing things. And of course, I messed up a few times, even after that. And it's been 7 years now. And I have she's brought me on 80 offices, and I call her the mouth of the South, because she tells everybody about Unlimited Ink and how wonderful we are and how I help train notaries to be like me. We just got a brand new client, not even within her wheelhouse. She's no longer at Fidelity, but no longer in her wheelhouse. We got another big client out of her because she was like, we won't use anyone else. And, right now, while it's slower, we were starting to see less refis, and we have a client that's focused on home equity line of credits, and she brought those in for us. And so I want to let you know, if you've made mistakes in the past, and we're talking about what you do at the end of the year affects what you do at the beginning, this is your second chance. Now, if you just made a mistake yesterday, maybe give it till October 15th or so. But if you made the mistake in March and you haven't heard from them and things are slowing down, reach out to them and say, hey, I know the last time we worked together, and it could be a signing agency or a title agency. Reach out to them and tell them, hey, I know the last time that we worked together, things weren't exactly the way that you wanted them to be, but I took that as a learning experience. I've gone to several other trainings. I've added these things, and I will make sure that this never happens again. I know that end of year is coming up for you, and this is the key to end that email or that phone conversation. I know the end of year is coming up, and it can get a little chaotic, interest rates or not. And I want you to reach out to me if you need something. And if they give you a second chance, knock it out of the park. I just heard that crack in my head, knock it out of the park. And all of you have the ability to do that, and you can do that. I want to talk about something else too, when it comes to end of year. And that is that at the end of the year, if you're not aware, title companies have to close out their books. Throughout the year, Unlimited Ink is constantly, even at my level, chasing payments so we can pay notaries. And you're going to be doing that too. But at the end of the year, come January 1st, they have to close out their books. It's a bigger deal for a title company to close out their books than any other business in the industry. So end of year is when you really need to start getting your books in order and start following up. And come January 1st, you need to have your books in order so you know exactly who you need to go after. And if a signing agency, come January says, hey, we're working on it, give them till January 30th, but by February, you really should be able to see all of your payments for the previous year, because title has to close out. It's nationwide. It's not something that is local. And yes, title, sometimes the notary is the last person to get paid. I don't know why. It just happens. It happens to Unlimited Ink too. I guess if we were realtors and we gave them business, they would be more apt to give us our commissions out of a settlement statement. But we don't give them business, they give us business. So we have to kind of fight for that, and I hate that. But at the end of the year is when you can really wrap up your books. And we're going to be having a bigger conversation about that on next month's session. Next month is all dedicated to getting ready to file your taxes. We have Ms. Sue Hope coming in from Notary Assist to give us a presentation about what they've done at Notary Assist to get the platform, which, by the way, I haven't needed Notary Assist in 4 or 5 years, and I still have my membership to them just so I can have access to my old books. By the time we got to this level, I needed QuickBooks, which you guys probably don't need. There are 2 major softwares out there, which are Notary Assist and Notary Gadget. We have both of them on Notary Stars available. Full disclosure, if you click on any of the links that we post for Notary Assist or Notary Gadget, we do get a commission off of suggesting those products, but they are the only 2. Another disclaimer that I want to put is do not use Snapdocs for your accounting. I get emails all the time where a notary puts in that they worked with me and they think I'm a title agency, and then they send me an email saying, and I'm just calling the first name I see on the screen, Laura Webster is inviting you to use Snapdocs to manage your notaries. And what they're doing is taking your direct business. So if you do use Snapdocs as for your accounting purposes, which it doesn't have any bells and whistles to do the write-offs in, make sure that you are giving it a code and not using the actual email address, because they offer you the ability to put in, which is weird, right? They offer you the ability to put in businesses and their contact information to log a signing. That's not your signing on Snapdocs. Why would they do that? Because they're capturing information so they can market to more clients. So be careful where you put your signings in to manage them. Snapdocs, if you get a lot in your area, is not your platform, because I guarantee you they're going to market to your clients. And if you go back and read their user agreement, it probably says anything that you enter is fair game. So just be careful. Notary Assist and Notary Gadget does not take your information and market to your clients. You are their client, and their software is for you to put in your mileage and track your write-offs and all those things. In addition, in October, Ms. Sue is going to bring a professional notary accountant who is here to explain to you the things that you can write off as a notary. And in between then, you should start researching that information, finding out which platform is going to be best for you, and get ready for October, because we're going to really bring it to you in October. One of our boot camps is dedicated to just making sure you're ready to file your taxes for the year. Now, I know some of you may file quarterly and you may have assistance with that. That's great, but the majority of you, I already know, don't. Self-included, I had to learn all of that along the way. And now I want to talk about the actual end of the year. And we're going to go to questions, and then we'll have a little guest speaker. But this is the biggest thing that I can tell you when it comes to the end of the year. I see 1 of 2 things owning a signing agency. There are either notaries who are available during the holidays or notaries who are not. And I understand that you guys are a range of notaries. Some of you are part-time, some of you are after work only on Friday and Saturday, and some of you are full-time, nose to the grind, out in the field every day. BankServe, Snapdocs, signing order, everything allows you to put in vacation mode. And when you're not picking up orders on some of the busiest days of the year and the hardest days to fill, it looks bad on you. So you've got to learn to use your vacation mode and let people know when you're available. This is the time of the year that we go back to that netiquette that we talked about. And part of that would be changing your voicemail. And I'm just calling names as I see them on the screen. Hi, this is Debbie Hudson, and I'm leaving this voicemail, or you've reached my voicemail, and Today is 9/21 and I won't be back in the office till 9/27. Make sure that the clients that are reaching out to you and do it. Remember to read our holiday marketing blog before you say Merry Christmas. You can say, hi, this is Debbie Hubson. I won't be available from December 24th to January 1st. Happy holidays, and I'll be back in the office on January 2nd. And learn to command your stage. It's okay if you want to take time off. If you're a part-time notary and you're only doing this to get the money to spend on your grandchildren, I want to be one of your grandchildren, but it's a better job than a Walmart greeter, right? And you don't have to be there for 24/7. But if you're a full-time notary, you're in competition with listings. And if you're part-time, it's respectable for those who are full-time to give them the stage during that time and hide your listing. So like in signing order, if you go on vacation mode, you're not in the I can't even find you unless I go to a previous order that you were on. So if orders come out, you're not going to see them. So if you're taking time off to spend with your family, I believe in that. I envy that. My mom's 2,000 miles away, and it's really hard for me to travel with my back the way it is. And I can't bring her here because of her age and her disabilities as well. I'm glad that you want to spend that time, but be courteous to the full-timers. And then the full-timers, if you're going to take one of the holidays, I know sometimes people take Thanksgiving, but they don't take Christmas, or they take Christmas and they didn't take Thanksgiving. And everybody wants to be off for January 1st because that's non-religious, and that's just, we worked hard all year. So just put yourself in vacation mode. Make sure that your companies know when you're working. And then if they do call you, one thing I want to say is if you put up a vacation responder or on your voicemail that you're not working and you took signings up until a certain point, I always say the magic number is about 7 days. Make sure you leave an emergency way to contact you, where it says, like, if you reach this voicemail and it's an emergency on a previous file, text me and I will respond. We can't really, as notaries, truly ever go off the grid. And just imagine you sign a power of attorney in July, come Christmas, the family has to use it because that person's really gone downhill, and they're at the bank and they say, I need a copy of your notary journal to actually use this power of attorney, which can happen. So you can never truly go off the grid with customer service. You can take some time off, you can be with your family, but also be respectful to your previous clients. So I just want to make sure that you guys are understanding that. And then the last thing that I want to say before we go into any questions or any statements, and then bring on anybody that is going to talk to us tonight, is that there are 3 things that I see in the notary industry that stops or halts business every year at 2 times a year. The first is January 1st. There will be a notary on this call tonight that says the IRS says I do not have to update my W-9 until, so many years. And I'm going to tell you that nobody cares what you or the IRS thinks. Title has rules. And Unlimited Ink, we have probably 50% of our clients require us to keep a current W-9 every year, as if we've onboarded you every single year onto signing order for you. So we go through a verification process at the beginning of a year with every single client. We have to send them a new E&O. We have to tell them that we will make sure that you have a W-9, that you have your background check completed. And we make those promises to our clients, and it never fails. Come March, there's a notary going, I haven't been paid since January 1st. And I have to tell them, well, you don't have a W-9. Well, the IRS says, I don't care what the IRS says. My client, who you sign a contract with on signing order, every order you take on signing order or Snapdocs, you click a button that says, I agree to this. And we just send it back to you. And then notaries will huff and puff and wait 15 days and not do it. January 1st, go to all your sites and update a W-9. and you will have no problems. Just make it part of your business process. It's going to be slow anyway. Why go against the grain and try to do that to yourself? Just go to every platform, and January 2nd, have fun on January 1st, January 2nd or 3rd, just go update your W-9. You'll have no problems, no delays in payments. You won't have any problem because you're signing a contract with multiple companies when you're on signing order, Snapdocs, all those things. And if you work with a direct title, most of them will require you. So if you have direct clients, most of them will require you to send that in. Now, the second thing that I see is know when your background check and your National Notary Certification test is due. Put that on your calendar a month and a half in advance. And if you're like me, I wish Alexa or Siri could talk, because they would tell you, I remind myself several times for things. And then there's like one last reminder. It's like, if you didn't do it, I hate you. And put that on your calendar where like Google allows you to make 15 minutes, 1 hour, 3 months. Like I have one, like if it's something important, it'll email me and say, if you didn't do this, I hate you. And it's from you. It's like, love you. And set your reminders to remind you to do those things. These are the 3 things. And, I'm just going to check. I did this with I'm not going to say the name, but I have a private call with one of our students right now we're trying to get some traction. And one of the things that we looked at was, it looked and appeared as if their background check was out of date. So they weren't getting orders. And, on our first call, we went and discovered this. You want to make sure that your background check and your NNA certification, and one thing that we discovered on that call, and we're doing this as a private, we're actually filming it so we can bring it for anybody else who's not getting traction. Give us some time to get that put together. But they had written in background checks online, which is what comes back from the NNA. But in signing order, they're coding those words, and you need to put in the words National Notary Association, because it wasn't showing that background check as the National Notary Association. And so when it went through the filters, it wasn't filtering them as present today with a National Notary Association background check, which is in every title agency's underwriting that you have to have. I don't know any title company that really, there might be one other that they accept, but for the bulk of our business, you're never going to run into problems with the National Notary Association. But by changing the name of that, it wasn't showing up in the filters as well. All right, so I've kind of reached the end of the topics. I do want to post this link. Tonight's topic, and by the way, the chat will be downloadable. We've got lots of information, the preamble and all the things we talked about are in there. I'm going to post this link. This is actually what we went by. And I also did a podcast with Abraham, who is here tonight as well. If you haven't read the blog, it's in plain English reading. One thing that I've learned from being an adult educator is some of us learn by reading, some of us learn by video, some of us learn by audio. So I'm trying to reach you guys in any way that we possibly can. And so the blog has mine and Abraham's podcast on it. Our video will also be added to this probably in the next 2 days, so that you guys can find any medium that speaks to you in order to obtain this information and take it into your brain and download it and use it for the future years. Adult learners learn in different speeds and in different ways. Some of you have children running around the house. Some of you are probably cooking dinner right now for your spouse. Some of you are maybe on the road trying to get to the next signing. We all absorb information different ways, and adult learners tend to absorb information the best way possible because we are already set. We already know what it takes to function on this planet. So we just need it the best way we can. So we try to come up with audio, visual, and interactive and print. So however it speaks to you, we've got it available for you. Miss Beth, I just want to check and see if we have any questions in the chat that popped out to you tonight.
No, not really, except there's one in there for Laura Biewer about how to become a RON facilitator. So we were talking a little bit about a RON early in your conversation. And of course, there are California notaries who cannot do RON yet. And you can be a facilitator for RON in a state that does not yet allow it. So I want to put that bug in Laura's ear, so when you bring her on, she can kind of address that a little bit. I do want to tell you that end of year for me is stupid crazy, and it's for several reasons. Apparently, 21 years ago, sitting at home in December, broke, wanting to do something, I applied for my notarial license. December. My commission expires in December. My background expires in December. My notary exam at NNA expires in December. My corporate filing is due in December, and I have to get taxes ready for January, which I had to make an appointment in October with my tax accountant to go over my taxes and put together. I'm telling you, December will pull your hair out. Now we got a Christmas tree, if you do Christmas. We got Christmas stuff going on and family gatherings. Yeah, don't talk to me in December. We do have a question from the group, Debbie Hudson. Debbie, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
And Miss Debbie, before you go, I just want to say I put it in the chat, but if you guys have questions about tonight's topic, please go ahead and virtually raise your hand to go ahead and get in queue so that we can get those questions answered. We will probably stop at about 5 or 6 minutes just to give Miss Laura time to talk, and then we'll continue to answer questions if you guys have them. But Miss Debbie, go ahead and take it away.
Ronnie, you were talking about, putting up a vacation notice on your cell phone message, and I haven't done that in the past. I've just answered calls on vacation and then talked with the person and said, I'm not available right now. I'm out of town. Because some of them I can do, I can schedule it for when I get back. So I've been able to keep some business that way. I've so far never had anybody request my journal record, but you said sometimes like a POA needs a copy of the journal signing. Do you take your journal with you if you're going out of town so that you could make a copy?
I do not. Using an example from July to December is probably an exaggeration. But I have been known to take my journal with me on road trips. So I've gone to Vegas several times. As you guys know, I love Las Vegas and it loves me. But if I've done some important signings, like powers of attorney or things that I know that they're going to need, I've brought my journal with me along with any loose certificates that I may have to send back to someone, like when I'm working with Amrock, as well as my notary stamp. So I always stop taking signings prior to going on vacation and especially if we were in a refi boom, I would do it 4 days in advance. I just wouldn't take any signings, so I didn't have to take it with me. But if you do a lot of power of attorneys and things like that, when they go to use them at the bank, they can require, especially California notaries. When I lived in California, it was a regular occurrence where they wanted to see the notarial line from the journal in order to validate the power of attorney. And that may have changed, but 10 years ago, that's really what I was experiencing. So I do like to leave a message on my voicemail if I'm traveling of where I'm at, how to reach me, what's the emergency number. And I like to make it apparent too, please don't call me if it's not an emergency. It's okay to say that in a polite way. I am currently on vacation with my family. If this is a true emergency, if not, I will be back in town. Please leave your voicemail and I will make sure. And I check my voicemail on vacation, which most of I haven't taken one in about 5 years, but it's coming and some of you are going to get that voicemail. But you want to make sure that you give them a way to reach you. If they reach you and you've done a power of attorney and you're not in your office, you at least want to respond to them and let them know when you can get there. And that bank may make a decision to go ahead and use that power of attorney because you're traveling. It's kind of like the least you can do is respond to them and say, I'm traveling. I will get back to you as soon as I get back into my office. Because remember, it's all about customer service at the end of the day.
Yeah, if you have to make a correction, you need to be able to leave town and know that you can handle it while you're out of town. If you're going to leave town on vacation, you can also have Teresita made a comment that you can have another notary back you up as well. And that could work for general notary work. I don't know how well that will work for loan signings because you have to be vetted with companies that you work with. You can't just hand it off to somebody else, but sometimes that's possible.
Yeah, for an instance, if they're not accepting the power of attorney you did for any reason because you can't see the journal line, you could work it out with a friend where you say, I can have a new one executed for you with another notary, and then you can take it right to the bank tomorrow and try not to charge them for that. Just, work it out with your friend, because it's, this is why we're going to be talking about this during boot camps, about formulating a notary network and a group, because you need things like that. Doesn't happen that often, but I always like to bring up what can happen because it's Murphy's Law, right?
No, my brother is the power of attorney for my dad and wanted to clear out his safety deposit box. And even though he had a signed power of attorney, the bank wouldn't accept it and said, we need to see your dad. And so it wasn't easy, but he got him out of skilled nursing and took him to the bank and, put him back to skilled nursing. And I said, wow, what if he'd been in a coma, what would the bank have done? But
usually when you're working with banks, and this is just personal knowledge, usually when you're working with banks, you want to ask them in advance, if I ever needed to use a power of attorney or have one for me, do you have one on site, or what is your process? And that's something that as consumers, a lot of consumers won't ask. But I've only learned that over the years to educate my customers. When they do fill out we get tons of people at Unlimited Ink saying, I need a power of attorney right now. And I always tell them, call the bank and ask them if they have one that they need specifically that their bank accepts. And I would say it's about 40% of the time that they need a specific power of attorney filled out. And that may be the case with your family. So you can use this everyone can use this as an experience to educate their customers as well. When they call, don't just fill out any power of attorney. Ask them, where are you planning to use it? And did you ask, are they going to accept this?
Yeah, Wells Fargo and B of A are notorious for using their own powers of attorney for accounts at their bank. So they may need several financial powers of attorney depending on what they're dealing with, for sure. Maurice has his hand up. Mr. Maurice, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, real quick. I just wanted to know if, Notary Stars, if we can have like maybe like a cruise or get together on the weekend, one weekend, something like, bringing all the Notary Stars members together at least once a year.
We have actually been looking into doing a conference of some sort, but I will tell you, and no offense against anybody that does conferences, but the way that I would want to do it is insane. So I looked at just if we brought in 1,000 of our members, because we have just about under 10,000 that have been through, that still stay in touch with us, that watch the replays, that sort of thing. Just for a day of food, the way that I want to do it, we're talking $46,000 for one day. And I would need more than one day. And I don't want to be charging more to sit next to me. I want to be able to hug every single person. So we are looking into it and figuring out a way, because you guys know I try to keep Notary Stars affordable so that it's easy to get to. But I would love to meet every single one of you, and I would love to dance with all of you and do all of those things, but I've never done a conference before. So it's a learning experience. So give us time. We have it it's in the planning stages of it, and it will come, but I've never done one, and I don't want to. I mean, obviously people have to help me pay for it because I don't make a mint off of Notary Stars. I make my money off of Unlimited Ink. There's a cost to operating this, and so I got to figure out how to do it without charging an arm and a leg and making it convenient for everybody. So it's on the planning stages at this point.
Well, I don't know. Maurice doesn't have his camera on. We wouldn't recognize him if we saw him in person anyway, would we?
I would recognize Mr. Murray. I just have to hear his voice.
Perfect.
There we go. We got his camera on there.
Yay. Okay. Did you have another question, Maurice, or are you good?
All right. I think we're good there.
Okay. Let's move on to Bree. Bree, do you want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question?
Hi guys, thank you so much for the training again this evening. I have a question that I'm not sure if you're willing to answer, but I thought I'd ask. You've talked a lot about doing notary connections to try to have a couple of notaries in your area that you can partner with, refer to if you need to. Are we able to reach out personally and like there's a notary or two in my area that has said they have done training with Notary Stars. I can't find them when I search for them. And I'm very particular if I'm going to refer someone, I want to make sure they have training because that's our name when we refer someone. So are we allowed to reach out to you guys and say, has so-and-so done some training, all their training, something like that?
I get tons of emails every day asking for verification of training. You need their membership ID number and just say, I need to verify this membership ID. And if they previously trained with us, I can tell you how long they trained with us, if they went through all the modules, that sort of thing. We don't require people to stay here forever. That would be ridiculous. But if they've done the training, we will let you know. And if you may not be able to see them on your membership level. So the best way to do it is to log out completely and then do a search in your zip code and then see if you can see them, because we have it blocked so that people can't leave fake reviews.
Okay, great to know. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Miss Beth, I think it is time to bring Miss Laura up. I really want to hear Miss Laura talk, and I'm going to get her spotlighted. Miss Laura, are you ready to, oh, there she is. Hi, Miss Laura.
Hi, I'm right here.
Now, I just want everybody to notice the sign. If Miss Laura, if you could go like this for 1 second.
Duck.
Duck for just 1 second.
Duck?
Yeah, there you go. So you can see that website in the background. I'm going to post it again in the chat. You can stop ducking, Miss Laura.
Okay.
I want you guys to know that website. And I want to say this really out loud, and I'm going to kind of put Miss Laura on the spot. We would love for her to bring her state-by-state training and sell it on Notary Stars. I've asked her about it. I'm going to put her on the spot. She can still think, she's going to think about it. We're going to take no commission. I would love to highlight her. I love Miss Laura. I think she's done a wonderful job. And on every video that we make promoting Notary Stars, we say, if you want more state-specific training, go to Miss Laura. I wanted her to duck, and I typed it in the chat there. If you've never been to coachmelaura.com, I want you to check out her website as well. But Miss Laura, I want to turn it over to you, and I want to learn more about what you have coming up.
Well, thanks so much for all of that, Ronnie. I so appreciate it. And if there's anyone on the call tonight who doesn't happen to know who I am, I'm Laura Biewer, Coach Me Laura. I'm the founder of that, and I help develop competent and confident notaries using state-specific training for the foundation of their notary laws and practicing on documents instead of practicing on the public. Another thing that I do is help identify niches and specialty work, because loan signings is not the only specialty out there. And the other thing that I more recently, just in the last few years, have delved into is learning about that third set of skills that we need as notaries. And, we need to know the foundation, our notary, the craft of doing our jobs, the actual notarization part, and being good at that. And then there's a second set of skills. And those skills, you were hearing them tonight. It's about business skills and knowing how to run your business and when's the right thing to do things to have the greatest effect. The third set of skills has to do with mindset, and it has to do with life skills. And this year, Notary Symposium is coming on November 11th and 12th. It's a Friday night and then all day Saturday, and it's virtual live, which means it's a Zoom call, but it's not pre-recorded. Everything's happening live. So you don't have to fly somewhere or be in a hotel, but we have some aspects of it that will give you that in-person feeling. And I'm going to share what that is. But first, I just want to give you a couple of ideas of what I mean by mindset. I mean, what kind of skills are that's going to help me do my job better? And something that Ronnie already said earlier today in this call was about, the work might be at a different pace right now. There's more notaries out there. And here's a mindset tip, and that is differentiation beats saturation every time. When you are more to a company than a text or an email, you have an opportunity to lean into that relationship, to be visible to them as a person rather than one of those signing agents, right? So we want to make sure that we find ways to stand out from other notaries that are looking at the same work we are, that are in our area, and building authentic relationships is one of those. Another thing I would tell you is that the world is changing. It's changing fast. It's not going to stop, and we need to keep pace. And one of the best ways to do that is your messaging. And again, I did hear Ronnie say some of these things. Your messaging to the world and yourself will bring you more of what you say. So what are you saying? Are you saying there's not enough work? It's too slow. There's too much competition. Well, you'll be given many opportunities to see evidence of that. When you say, that next call could be the opportunity I was waiting for, or even better yet, have you checked to see if you can help somebody else get what they want, right? These are going to be then what you're going to see, right? So if you focus on lack, you get more lack. You focus on the positive, then that's what you're going to get. So I want to tell you to take the opportunity to remind yourself of how powerful you are. And the way I do that myself is I am statements. I am competent. I am strong. I'm in the game. I am visible. I am phenomenal, right? Don't hold back. I'm phenomenal. We are in a great time of change, and I am excited that I get to be a part of it. So I just love that all three of these skill sets come together to have a well-rounded business and as a human being, on this earth with other people. So I encourage you to find coaches, trainers, events that reinforce these kinds of messages. Invest in yourself in these types of skills, and your world will change. So obviously I have an agenda myself, and that is Notary Symposium. We've been doing it. This will be our 7th year, acknowledging and celebrating the annual National Notary Day. And we focused for most of those years, the first 3 or 4 years, on notary skill. And as a matter of fact, our very first keynote speaker was Carol Ray. And we got to hear her story, and it was pretty fantastic. And each year we've tried to, make it bigger and better. And so notary skill is what we focused on. And then what we realized is notaries needed business skills too. So we started bringing in speakers for business skills. And then I realized, it's not enough to have those 2 skills. You need to have this third set of skills. And so I just want to run down the kinds of speakers we're bringing in to focus on a different way of thinking. And we're going to open it up on a Friday night with Vanessa Terry. She's notary to notary. She's helped 10,000 students. But what I love about her is her enthusiasm, her mindset, and that she's about helping other people. She is phenomenal. And she's going to get us in the mood. And on Saturday, we are bringing in Hal Elrod. Now, if you don't know him, Morning Miracle is his best-selling book. And he has written and been a part of 19 other bestsellers in that series. This guy has come back from a car accident that almost killed him, bankruptcy he came back from, and he also came back from a very aggressive form of cancer where he had very little chance of surviving. And he kept coming back stronger. And what helped him do that was his study of mindset and how to listen to what his body tells him and to change the messages that were going on in his world and in his own mind. Because when you have a message in your mind believes it, whether it's true or not. That's just how we're wired. So we're going to get to hear from him. And after that, we're going to learn about a new way of problem solving. It's not new in the world. I think it's kind of new for notary industry. And that's my masterminding. So it's very different than brainstorming. It is very different from coaching, where I push information to you and you listen and take notes. This is where two or more minds gather together and create a mastermind and facilitates the ideas to come up with new products, new services, ideas to get through challenges, ideas to make change. And so she's from Australia. She's incredibly good about that. And she will be leading us through what is it, how does it work? And we're going to demonstrate a live hot seat during symposium so you can actually experience what does that look like. And then I have to have a couple of actual notaries talking about how we incorporate this. And so Jen Neitzel of SAM's Signing Agent Marketing is going to talk about how she incorporates the SAVERS, which is a Hal Elrod acronym for the different things he does for the mindset, and how she incorporates that into networking, how you can do that. And then our own Bill Soroka, is also going to talk about his morning mastery and how that developed from Hal Elrod's material. And finally, Robbie Samuels is going to address the innovators in our crowd. There are people probably in this very call who maybe have thought about developing a journal. That's the new, the new mousetrap, or developing a new class, or developing some kind of product or service beyond doing the work of notarizing documents. And he's going to address, how do you take these ideas and actually monetize those? How do you do that? So that's the lineup, phenomenal lineup of speakers. But it's not enough to have great content. We need to have a good time because we're notaries, right? We need to enjoy each other's company and network. So we did a couple things. One is we want you to have an in-person feel. That in-person feel is going to come in about 3 different ways. One, we have a special welcome box with goodies inside. I have very generous colleagues and sponsors who have helped me put things together in a welcome box, and every attendee will get one mailed to their home before the event. The other thing that we're doing is we have a prize wheel. We have a new prize genie this year. It's Nina Penny, and she will be helping me give away $2,500 worth of prizes. And these prizes are things that notaries particularly, like last year we gave away several scanners, laptops, really great things. So that's going to happen throughout the event. And the other way that we try to bring in that in-person feel is watch parties. And so we're encouraging attendees who are nearby other notaries to get together at one place, bring your earpods, because everybody has to have their own IP address, and do it together. So you're cheering for people to win prizes. And when you have the break or the lunch, you can be networking and you can be with other notaries and enjoying it at the same time. There's 2 other things I want to mention. One is and you got to have a party. And we're having a margarita party. And that margarita party is the end of our event. And we do something called virtual bingo. Oh, I just saw it. Virtual bingo. Guys, this is not your grandma's bingo. This is built specifically for notaries. We have prizes for it. It is just, let me just tell you that I filmed it last year, but I couldn't put it out publicly. What stayed in, what happened on Symposium had to stay on Symposium. I just couldn't put it out there. All the content we did, but we didn't want to do that. It was so fun. And then one last thing, we were so inspired. Symposium was, since Carol was our very first keynote speaker ever. And I've been such good friends with her for the 10 years that I had that opportunity. There's the Heart Project, and the Heart Project identified scholarships for notaries who might need a hand in training, equipment, whatever it is. And so they went out and collected sponsors to be able to support supporting notaries who are in their first year of a commission and needed just a little boost. And we are the platform that they're going to make that announcement on who won those. So all of that is what's going to be happening that weekend of November 11th and 12th. And I hope I've, in my short time, been able to help you understand what kind of experience you could have if you decide to join us for this event. And I'm so appreciative of the opportunity. Ronnie, thank you for allowing me to be on your platform to share that with everybody.
Miss Laura, I have to tell you, you're welcome here anytime. And I have a special loving to you. I want you guys to know that the very first article I ever wrote for Notary Stars, I consulted Miss Laura and gave her credit for. You guys know that if I use any of the words, you guys have heard me turn competitors into colleagues. I always give her credit for that and she actually didn't say that on one of our public events. She said that to me on a phone call. Mm-hmm. I call her ever so often and we talk about things. And I know that sometimes people like to make notary trainers like Brittany and Christina, but they're not. We talk behind closed doors. We all have an alignment. I want to say that you said something tonight, Miss Laura, and I really try, guys, to not get religious when it comes to training or anything. And I'm not a religious person, but I posted it in the chat. And Miss Laura was talking about bringing minds together, and that becomes the future. And it transcends every religion or way of life. And there's a Bible verse that's always stood out to me. And it's Matthew 18:19. And it says, again, truly, I tell you that if two of you on earth agree about anything and they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. And that is the mindset that she is talking about, whether you're on a religious level or a spiritual level or a high energy level, no matter what level you're on. I really believe in this. And it's so funny, I go walking every morning. I usually talk to Miss Beth for a little while on my walk. She'll tell you I walk every morning or every afternoon, sometimes both, because, this belly has to stay down. But there are neighbors who go, oh, I wanted to say hello to you this morning, but I saw you on the phone. And I'm like, I'm not on the phone. I'm talking to the higher power or God or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I try to be very careful because they tell you not to bring religion into it. My way is God and that sort of thing. But I really believe in that mindset of coming together. And if you agree on it and you put it into the world, a collective consciousness. And that's why I've been very careful at Notary Stars of allowing external sources to put in on this website things unless it was merited and could benefit, because the collective consciousness is a big deal. And who you surround yourself with is how you're going to be living your life or running your business. So I'm really excited. I think I'm going to sign up for the Notary Symposium tonight to just be a part of that, because that is something that I've never thought of at Notary Stars in that forward outward thinking. It's always been underlying, but I'm so proud to have someone that I look at as a colleague and a mentor at the same time that is thinking about that kind of thing. So I really appreciate you bringing that to the forefront. I know I keep shaking the desk. Everybody keeps saying, stop shaking the desk. It's because I sit Indian style and my knee hits the desk. But I really appreciate that. That's the most exciting thing that I hear, because your mindset is your business.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my vision board here too. Positive affirmations, snow. It's easier to visualize snowflakes than it is the cold breath, right? So I had to do snowflakes.
But Miss Beth, I have to tell you, your vision, my vision board is on my refrigerator because I go to the refrigerator more than anything else in the house. And my vision board has lottery tickets with saying you're the winner on it.
Yeah.
And you're getting snowflakes in Phoenix, Arizona. If you get snowflakes anytime soon, I'm going to be winning the lottery. Just so you know, if you're on this call tonight, if I win the lottery, you'll be getting something special in your email.
Yeah.
That's my representation for cooler weather, not necessarily specifically snowflakes, but there. So Laura, do you have a landing page for your symposium? Where they
I
can-
do. If you go to notarysymposium.com, you will find all the information about the speakers, all the activities that are happening, and the opportunity to purchase a ticket. And for those who purchase their ticket by or before September 30, they will be getting those welcome boxes, because I had to cut off at some point, so I had enough for everybody that purchased. So you'll want to do that before September 30th if you want to get that special welcome box.
And that's November 11th and 12th, 2 days?
That's correct. It's going to be Friday night, and it's Pacific time. So it's like 5 to 7:30 on Friday, and it's 8 a.m. on Saturday until 4, and then we have the party in the evening. So it is going to be some big fun.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Ronnie, we are at 6:15, so we're running about 15 minutes beyond our scheduled run time. Do you want to bring us home?
I do. I see that we have one hand raised, and Mr. Laverne, I love you, but if you want to email me direct, I got an email from you earlier. I would love to hear from you, and I'm going to respond to your previous email. Guys, we are working on trying to keep time down because adult learners learn in smaller segments because we have things to do. And you guys know I'm notorious for talking, but I want to say that I am so proud of all of you that were able to get here tonight, and all of you that will watch the replay. And if you weren't with us and you find it later, I'm so proud of you and your business, and keep coming back with us. We're going to keep trying to be that informational highway. If you've not trained with us and you're not currently with us and you came for the free event tonight, we posted a code earlier. You can download the chat now. It'll be in the replay as well. For all of September, it's 50% off your first month at Notary Stars at the Notary Star level. That's just $12.50 for 150 hours of training. I do want to plug my marketing course at this moment. My marketing students will tell you that I've changed things for them. I don't just teach at the notary level on how to market your business. I teach you how to market any business. And I will tell you guys that if you're a year and a half into this, you might want to cross that threshold. It's only a few more dollars a month or a few more dollars a week to get to where you're going. I've always been the guy that says, be careful, be careful, be careful. But now we're back in the normalcy of this industry. And I want to let you know that I'm not going to stop saying be careful. I don't want you in the marketing course if this is your first day. But if you are a year and a half into this and you're struggling, consider crossing that threshold, because I can help you. And I know how to market my business. I know how to market Notary Stars. My business is Unlimited Ink. It's a nationwide signing agency, very successful. Notary Stars has been widely successful as well. I had to learn all the things the hard way to market me as a notary, then grow a company, then bring Notary Stars. I can help you do that with your business as well. It doesn't happen overnight. The reason I charge for it is because you have to take it seriously. I wish I could give all this away for free, to be honest, but I've given it to my best friend and to my best girlfriend, and I'll give you their names and you can call them. And giving it away, there's something about when somebody pays for something that they actually take it seriously. And I always tell people, when they say, I have a hard time getting in class, I say, okay, every month take $25 and put it in a jar. And in 4 months, you will see how much you've spent. And if you're not doing it, then, you know, that's your fault. I want you guys to know that you all have the ability. This industry is still doing fine. And Miss Laura brought it up, there's a million different products that you can bring to your table. We do focus on loan signing agent training. We bring in people like Laura and Judy Lawrence to tell you about the training that they offer. Notary Stars is an informational highway for you to be able to find those resources, and that's what we will remain to be. I'm not going to start stealing courses from Miss Laura and putting state training. She's already done it. You know, Miss Beth attends her training, and we have a crib sheet. So if you call in a Notary Stars line, we can help you. But the best way to go is to go through Miss Laura. And if you want to learn about apostilles, Miss Judy. And if you want to learn about fingerprinting, Miss Kimberly Nanali. And if you guys have a course that you're developing, we need to talk about it, because it's got to be for the greater good. Like Miss Laura really does for the greater good. She's not trying to benefit her own pockets. She's trying to benefit the community. And so we're going to keep trying to bring you those types of things to this community here and keep growing. We're working with other people that are developing state chapters and all of those things. I want to say this in closing. October 1st, if you love Notary Stars, we are having our first stakeholders meeting. That's our very first boot camp. You have a voice here. If you were part of the original crew that I told you, you know, I used to come on live, and now we have a video when you sign up. You have a voice here that you help define the trajectory of this company. And I want to hear from you, and we're going to talk on that meeting about where we're going next year in 2023. And you guys are going to help plan that. We're going to tell you some things that you're able to do as a Notary Star to grow your business and be more plugged in. I can't wait for October. I think it's 2nd. That's the day. No matter what, I want to see you there, because you will define what happens next year. We've had a great year, and we're just about to do our boot camps. This is the best year ever. We're in our 3rd year at Notary Stars. We're going into our 4th year. I can't believe it. And I remember the day I turned it on, there was one person there, and I talked like there were 500 people there, and it was hard. And some of you can still see that video in your very first training session. You'll see there's one little square. Sue Cope, one of my white glove notaries, she was there. She was my very first one. And I want to tell you, I want you to be there on October 2nd, which starts our boot camps, because you have a voice, and your hard-earned money that goes into this website. We take every feedback that you give, and we try to put it back into the site and make it part of it. Now, we can't do everything. You know, I'm not, you know, if I was omniscient and a force like that, but collectively, we can make this the best notary platform out there, and all inclusive of trainers and notaries and platforms and all of those things. So if you're not a member yet, become a member. If you don't like it, it's just $12.50 of your money. But October 2nd, you have a voice. And let's talk about what we're going to do in 2023. Our theme for this year has been make 2022 our year. I'm going to probably get credit Miss Laura to what it'll probably be next year. And I'm not going to say it just yet, but she said some things tonight that I think should probably become, I'll tell you, our theme at Unlimited Ink Notary has been we're stronger, we're together. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I've always said, and we have videos of the Unlimited Ink Notaries together before COVID saying, together we're unlimited and we're stronger together. That's why I called it Unlimited Ink Notary, and that's why this is called Notary Stars Unlimited. Miss Laura may be credited for contributing to coming back to that full circle. Next year, our theme is probably going to be we're stronger together. You know, 2022, still our year, but next year it's probably going to be we're stronger together. So I'm going to ask everybody to turn on their cameras. I know that if you're in your PJs, that's okay.
Real quick, Ronnie, tell them how to sign up for boot camps. Is that free?
Boot camps are actually members only. And if you are not a member, use the code Labor Day 2020. Download the chat now before we stop. I'll also put it in the replay of this. You have until September 30th or 31st, whatever is the last day of the month. We did our Labor Day code for all of this month. You can come in and train with us for the October boot camps. And yeah, that's how you sign up. If you're a Notary Star, you'll know how it is. Hold on, Miss Beth, let me get you unpinned as well. And then I want to go to the gallery view because you guys know we love to turn on those cameras and show our signature wave.
Alrighty, guys, I just want everybody here to remember, as you're moving forward in your notary career, just remember to reach back, grab that notary next to you, and bring them along for the journey. Help someone else out. Be good. We love you guys.
And one last thing, guys. We are now on TikTok. So if you have not seen us on TikTok, please follow us on Notary Stars Training on TikTok. We are just getting started because, you know, I'm older. So I'm trying to get into that. I've still never figured out Snapchat, but we are trying on TikTok. So we would love for you to follow us, but please don't expect us to be telling you lies on there with affiliate links. We'll see you next.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.